Apostle Pagani, it's such an honor to have you here with our show. I want to just talk to you, since your grace and your call is to be in the area of deliverance and handling demonic and angelic things.
Yes.
What are the major differences between the pagan gods and the true Bible gods?
Well, one of I think the major differences is for the Christian, when it comes to maybe a pagan god, there's an open door. When it comes to someone who is not a Christian, this person is actually living for the pagan god. So I think the difference is that one has an open door and the other one has already surrendered their life towards the pagan god. So I think that's the big difference. One is an open door, the other one is completely living for.
Somebody that's worshiping a pagan god, like when we say pagan god, we're talking about God that has mouth but can't speak, eyes that have eyes but can't see, ears that can't. So I'm talking about those people that are worshiping, the millions of that worship those kind of gods and believes that that's a true God. Now, those people may be very good people, because there are very good people, very religious, and do very good works. They're very devoted people and sincere in worshiping to God. But the problem with them is with many of us that come from that background, we have this understanding that the living God is the same as the God that our forefathers have worshipped.
Right. I don't think it's, well, maybe to some, they might see it as it's the same, but it's actually not the same. It's actually not the same. One, an idol, as you and I were discussing previously, have eyes, do not see, ears that do not hear. But God defines himself as he doesn't dwell in man-made things. So with the God of heaven, it's an actual personal relationship with God in your heart. But when it comes to idolatry, it's with an idol in and of itself. So it's a very big difference between both. But the devotion is still there.
So like for a lot of people that are not necessarily Christians in their faith, but they go to the temples or mosque or church or and they will pray to a certain God and they will see their prayer answered. So how could that happen?
Well, one, I think that we can also see that I guess the demons that are behind some of these idols, they go and they make those things happen, and because the person is either not aware and hasn't been informed where the source is coming from, they assume that is actually the God answering them, but really it's not the God answering them. It's the demon that's behind the idol that's actually making those things happen in order to solidify or to make their devotion to that God more intense. So I think that's kind of like how it works.
So somebody like that's watching today, how would you identify that that I am not in a curse or in a bondage? How do I know that I'm not in a curse?
Plain and simple, the God that you and I serve, the God, Lord Jesus Christ, is different than a pagan God. This is how you identify, is at the end of that devotion, it produces fear. There's a fear. So therefore, there's a consistent fear of, I make sure that I have to do this because the gods might attack me. The God that you and I serve is not like that. He's full of mercy. So the way you identify whether you're worshiping the true and living God or an idol or a demon is that the end will produce fear. And God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. The God you and I serve is a God of mercy and full of love. So that's how they can know.
Wonderful. That's a good sign too. Are you more motivated by fear or by love?
So that's how you identify whether it's a false God or the true and living God.